Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, it's your girl Sunny D, co-host of GST Radio. I want to welcome you guys to tonight's show. Fellas?
What up, everybody? What's going on out there, good people? Y'all ready?
Yeah, these two are ready. I'm solo tonight. Nobody wanted to join me. But it's all good. I'll try to hold it down for us ladies, or I will. But at any rate, you guys know last week we mentioned, oh crap. See, this is why I can't be directing the show. But anyway, sorry. If you guys are listening right now, you're on blogtalkradio.com/GFT Radio Show. If you want to call in and join in on this topic, you can call us at 657-383-1155. Phone lines open up at 10:15. You can also tweet us at GFT_radio with any comments or questions you have, because we'll be checking that, as well as our Facebook page, GFT Radio Show, or GFT Radio. So tonight's show was brought up by Clint because, he started last week's show off with his nonsense, and I couldn't even get my life together because, he started off with the shenanigans before the show started. Clint, you want to say what you said on last week's show?
See, this is why I want to start off by saying this is why men are smarter, because we deal with facts. We deal with facts first. The fact is she started it.
I didn't.
Yes, you did. You said, made a comment. I was like, man smarter. And then you was like, her exact words, fellas, was, women are smarter because we make them think they control the relationship.
No, we make y'all think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what you said. You make us think that we control the relationship. And my reply was, well, men are smarter because we make y'all think y'all in a relationship. You know what I mean? She felt some type of way about that, people. She felt some type of way about that. So, you know what I mean? But I still stick to my guns. I do think men are smarter because, we think logically.
Anyway.
We do think logically. And we react, for the most part, when we react more logical. Y'all react with the emotional side of your brain. Y'all want to be all extra.
Okay, but he's starting already, and he's starting already. Like, even good 4 or 5 minutes into the show, he's starting already. But I want to get this out the way before y'all go starting. So after his shenanigans that he pulled, I decided to put a poll on our Twitter page and basically ask, who do you think is smarter, men or women? So y'all want to know who won? The women did. Why do we win? Because we're smarter than men. At any rate, it was out of 11 votes.
I guarantee you more women voted.
I doubt it, because y'all, first of all, let me tell you about this one. Because we had the podcast brothers, I want to say it was Jarrell. He was retweeting it, and y'all was talking shit like, oh, yeah, y'all, all men vote. Yeah, y'all better get this done. We definitely smarter. Women, y'all losing. And guess what? We won. So, all y'all shady tactics, all y'all retweeting and talking all that trash, and you still lost. Was it 55% to 45%, and you're a bunch of losers, so you guys are definitely not smarter in the eyes of Twitter. But, I don't think it was a lot of women, because a lot of women didn't tweet me and say what I wanted them to say. It was a lot of men tweeting and trash talking, but,
Yeah, see, men know if we retweet it, we vote for y'all, we'll get on y'all good side. Y'all like that.
Really? Jabril, you want to join this loser over here?
Nah, why you got to go to the name call? I'm just enjoying this good conversation. Like, hopefully we because it's 2 against 1 basically. Like, I'm definitely gonna have to side with Clint on this one. So it's kind of 2 against 1. So it's kind of like an unfair advantage, because whenever you say we're still going with this argument, like, it doesn't matter. I don't care what the polls has, what the Twitter polls has, and who answered the question. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Anyway.
Facts is facts.
Okay, so this is what I want to say. I'm going to say this, and I hope you women don't hate me for this. I'm going to be real honest. I think if you break it down in certain aspects, in certain situations, I would have to be honest and say, in some instances, men are smarter than women. but in some instances, women are definitely smarter than men. But I will say this: as when we get the kids and we had the babies and everything like that, the women, the girls progress faster than the boys. Like more often than not, the girls move swiftly through life, start talking first, start doing everything first. Well, y'all boys just hang out and just eventually get to, let me say something today, or let me start potty training, let me do miscellaneous things. So you guys kind of have a delayed reaction to things. So that's why I think that we are born smarter than you guys, But that's just my take.
Only thing I agree with is women mature. Girls mature physically quicker than men. I don't know about mentally. You know what I mean? One thing about boys is, we out. Like, we trying to get into stuff. You know what I mean? We roughhousing. Most girls ain't into that. You feel me? And then on top of that, most parents don't even let their girls get into that type stuff. Know what I mean? So, like, we more physical.
What are you talking about now?
Huh?
What type of stuff are you talking about?
Talking about physical stuff. Know what I mean? Out. You put us out. We playing in dirt. We getting dirty. We want to play. We jumping around.
Well, I was a tomboy for the better part of my life. So I was out playing in the dirt. I was out in the junkyard just doing, but I used to hang with all the boys. That's what I used to do. Hang in the junkyard, just go fishing.
How many girls is there? How many girls is there?
Well, probably me. It wasn't me.
Yeah, and a bunch of dudes.
And there's one girl there. They was only doing it to chase the boys.
Yeah, so it's rare. So when you say like y'all progress, like boys into stuff. So we learning stuff hands on. You feel me? More than we we learning stuff hands on. What stuff is, what not to do, what hurt. You feel me? Females, y'all more protected, y'all more sheltered.
Well, I don't agree. I guess I think it depends on the family because I was taking shit apart and putting shit together. I still am. My mom has 5 kids, 4 girls and 1 boy. My sisters call me, hey, Red, I need you to go put some shit together. I'll be sitting there, like, that's my pastime. That's my calm zone, is putting something together. So okay. I think it depends on the type of female.
True.
Nobody whispers in the shadows. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing.
No, I'm saying true. No, like you said, it depends on the parenting. What'd you say, J-Ro?
She just gonna say whatever she have to say to justify herself and make herself look better than us.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm not no. Oh my God, y'all so shady. Y'all so shady.
Like we was talking before the show, and I said I did a little research and I seen how they did a lot of tests on who's smarter, man or woman. On the test results, it really wasn't much difference in the intelligence level of, between men and women. They stated that, towards the top, there are more men, who would be smarter than women, but on the same token, at the bottom, there's more men, it's more men on the dumber side of things than it is women. Women like are in between. You feel me? Women more consistent, you feel me? And I guess that like I was saying, it goes towards my thoughts about, emotions. You feel me? We had the way we act, we handle emotions different. Females are more, outgoing, physical with it, but when dudes get to that point, it's a lot more craziness. You feel me? Like,
yeah, I think that's just because females are used to being emotional, so we know how to deal with our emotions. Whereas you guys most guys don't like to show emotion because they feel it's a weakness. So they kind of, like, when you go through an emotional hurt, it's harder to recover from that. Whereas females be so used to it, it's like, you hurt for a little while, you fuck everybody, and then you come back like, okay. And whereas guys, it's a little bit different. So maybe that might be.
Yeah, I think that's the reason. You feel me? That the stats are so opposite like that.
Okay, so
thinking of how people, the difference between men. That's a part. Emotional intelligence. They talk about that too. You know what I mean? And it was like it was one part in there was saying that's why like jobs that have to do with dealing with customer service jobs or just dealing with people. more. You know what I mean? Women rate higher because when, as you're young, you're taught to be more, you know, like I was saying. Yeah, y'all taught to be more, taught together how to approach people, y'all. The helpers, not like helpers, like the nurturers, so to speak. Y'all got that nurturing nature about y'all. So when y'all grow older, it's easier for y'all to empathize with other people, connect with more people than it is with men. You know what I mean? Men not built like that. You feel me? Men are more to themselves, so to speak.
Yeah, or they're more like the pop. Like that's one thing with a lot of females. Like I know we get the issue. Like when we come to y'all with problems y'all want to solve, and it's like no, we want to vent. And y'all have that, like, and I guess when they're in the customer service, but that could work for y'all in customer service. But I you know, because you're trying to fix something, but you kind of, if you come off without some type of empathy, it comes off harsh. So I guess that would sound right as far as women being more fit for those types of jobs or better at it. Well, I think I had a question. 10 minutes out of my head. Gabriel, you want to chime in with anything? You got any thoughts going on?
Like I say, I'm just sitting back here listening to you try to justify. You just will justify whatever you got to do. Whatever Clint says, whatever I say, you just will spin it and try to flip it so that you can make yourself look better than us. It's not going to happen.
No, I'm not even. I'm fired. I'm being.
Why you mad? Why you calm down?
I'm not mad. I'm just saying. I'm not sitting here and be like, oh my God, you're retarded. I can't with you.
I'm gonna
start name calling with you.
Yeah, resort to name calling now.
So what do you take about?
That just proves our point even more. You feel me? She start resorting to name calling. That just proves our point even more.
Oh my God, really? You gonna go there?
Yeah, you feel me?
That's where you're gonna go.
Fact. It's basic fact. And that same study, they was talking about, how men are more confident naturally than women.
I could agree with that to a certain extent.
Yeah, even if they tried to play as though they was like, even if men don't really know what they're talking about, they still project that confidence like they know what they're talking about. So it was kind of interesting article.
Well, where was the article at?
I googled it. It was talking about because the study was based on, it was a worldwide study.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And it was based in London. I forget which college the name was. Don't know about the college now.
I just found a site with comparing men and women, and they say it's equal when it comes to self-awareness. Self-management, men are more smarter with that than women. Self-awareness, women are more smarter than men. And relationship management, of course, is women are smarter more than men.
Say that last part again.
In this study from Forbes magazine, it says that women are more smarter with relationship management. Women have more social awareness. Men have more self management, and it's equal when it comes to self-awareness.
Okay.
So that's how they did it, and it just kind of breaks down each one about how how women and men do things. And then
also,
go ahead.
So I was just looking at this article on Psychology Today, and it was basically saying like you was right about what you said. The study showed at a younger age, up to probably like 14 or 15, you really could notice the difference between the intelligence of the boys and the girls. Mm-hmm. But after that, it's a sharp decline in women and a huge increase in the boys. But at the end of the day, it's still even out.
What was that on? That was on the Psychology Today?
Yeah, Psychology Today.
Yeah. I just actually Googled that one right now, and I'm looking at that one.
But the one psychology, I didn't see that one. I'm going to definitely look into that one. But relationship-wise, like when I said that I believe that women are smarter in relationships, or because we're pretty much like even we're like the neck that holds up the head. We help maintain a relationship. Men are providers, but we're the nurturers of our relationship. That's why we're smarter when it comes to relationships. We know how to nurture relationships, and we kind of we should balance each other out.
See, I think that has less to do with intelligence and more to do with, gender roles that was established from back in the day.
Yeah, you got to get with the times. Things are different now. Like you say, the gender roles from back in the day are different than what they are now.
Yeah, because you got way more. Like, I know it's a lot of females out here that, and it has to do with them having to work a lot too, because we in this, they take two incomes at the end of the day, so more women work. So, they're not really into that nurturing. A lot of women don't even know how to cook no more.
Yeah.
They're not good cooks. And that was, you feel me, you used to be looked at sideways back in the day if you was a female, you ain't know how to cook.
But it depends on nationality, because if you look at people that are in certain other cultures, the men are the cooks.
Yeah, you feel me? And
I know a lot of Dominicans, the men cook.
Yeah, because the men are better cooks. I mean, quite honestly, men are just better. But
really?
You know what I mean? That's why y'all come from us.
No, really? Really? And really, what is saying about Adam, whatever. Y'all, we give birth to y'all. I was about to say something, but I was about to say it didn't make any sense. So I'm going to stop myself. But we birth you motherfuckers. So what do you mean?
I said we ain't going to take nothing major from them, man. We just going to take the red. You feel me?
But that made us equal, not lesser or superior. We're equal. So we shouldn't even, realistically speaking, we shouldn't even be comparing who's smarter.
That's what that? Always do. Women always try to rationalize things in their favor.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I had a discussion with a male friend of mine, and we were chit-chatting about this topic today. And he said, and I told you guys before the show, but I got to say on air just in case anybody want to call in, 657-383-1155, or tweet us GFT_radio on Twitter, or talk to us through our Facebook page, GFT Radio. But he said that he thinks that women are smarter, but men are wiser. So what do you think about that? I'll let whichever one you want to answer, and then the other one can go.
I mean, like, wiser in what way, though? Like just wiser in all aspects of life?
Yeah, with certain decisions, because men think about, like, I guess, like you said, women act through emotion and men think about things for the most part. I don't know. Like, I should have asked him that, like, in what aspect, but.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that men are more logical, so we think more logical. So we look at the bigger picture. I think sometimes when you're dealing with women, they look, sometimes they get a little narrow-minded. I ain't saying that to be negative, but like, sometimes y'all get real narrow-minded and simple-minded, and all y'all focused on is just, it's one aspect of a situation. So. And not the whole big picture.
That's always been an issue with a lot of things. Like you say, instead of looking at the whole big picture, they're so focused and determined on one thing. You sitting and actually thought about it and listened and comprehended the whole bigger picture instead of that one narrow subject. There'd be a lot less arguments in relationships and in the world.
Well, sometimes you need to get to that one to move past it. I get it, but if you keep having the same problem and you're not really talking about it, it's not going to fix it. So I think in certain situations, not all, but at some situations you shouldn't beat a dead horse. But in some situations, I think, depending on what the topic is or what the issue is, you need to kind of keep talking about it until you get, or talk about it and hash it out and then move past it. But I think in that situation, a lot of people aren't really expressing their true feelings on topics. I think a lot of people are scared to have real conversations with their other half, or people in general, and therefore you don't fix anything. You're just causing it more problems.
Yeah, see, but that's the point we're trying to make. Some things you just be like, man, whatever. Like, it ain't that serious. Like, let it go. Things could be much smoother instead of just continuously to talk about the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I feel it.
After a while, it gets redundant. Like, come on now. You already, it's like, I'm not going to switch. If I'm stuck, like, if I'm in, you feel me, I'm not changing my stance. The first 4 times we had this discussion, what makes you think I'm going to change it the 5th time?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on.
So at that point, you got to kind of basically come to the realization that you're not getting anywhere, and that either you're going to keep having, like I said, either you're going to let that shit go, or y'all need to deal with something else.
You got to agree. Sometimes you just got to agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Disagree to disagree. Like, you feel me? We don't have to agree on everything. You feel me? No relationship is 100% agreement. Like, that's impossible. You feel me? That's fate. That's you can't even believe that we agree on everything. Like, nah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes a decision that may need to be made, and depending on the predicament, you may be the best one to make that decision. You feel me? Because you may have more information, or it may involve you directly. Now, I can give my 2 cents, but that's your decision to make.
Yeah, that's a regulation that you could be on. It's funny because I made a post on my blog about, like, knowing when to be quiet, and you have to be smart enough to understand when to not say anything and when to just move on, because then, like, after a while, it's like 2 fools arguing.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of pick and choose your battles, pick and choose where you're getting. If you're not getting anywhere, just let it go. And that's another thing about, making smart decisions. But, like,
yeah.
You can't keep having the same argument all the damn time, because at the end of the day, you got to, something is much bigger than that argument. At least in my thoughts, if we have the same argument over and over again, then it's either much bigger than an argument or it's a waste of my time, and I just don't have the energy to be dealing with that.
You know what it tells me, Jabril? You know what it tells me?
What's up?
When I had the same argument over and over again, and she didn't learn nothing the first time. She ain't learned nothing the second time. She ain't learned nothing the third time. We already learned it. You feel me? She's still trying to figure it out. You feel me? So that's another reason right there. That's another point. And she just admitted
men do it too.
She just admitted it. You know what I mean? That's another reason why.
Men do that too. Because I've been in situations where I've talked to people that I'm dealing with, and we can have an issue, bring up the topic, and I'll be on some, okay, let's hash this out, whatever. And then I'm constantly saying we need to talk about it and not ignore it, because the more we ignore it, the more it sweeps under the rug. It's going to reach. And that's one of the things. When you don't get to it, that you don't discuss that problem and you just brush it under the table, it's going to keep coming up. So you have to kind of deal with it head on and then move past it. If you never deal with it, it's going to, like, and women get that way too. Like, I know I get that way. I don't want to have to say argue with you 50 million times. And if I'm thinking, I don't want to, like, I'm trying to avoid argument, and you keep bringing the same argument up, it's like, dude, really? We're not going to have this discussion anymore.
But like Clint just said a couple minutes ago, like, your opinion is not going to change. So if you said it the first time, it's not going to change again the second time. So
I get that part, but if you don't discuss it at all, that's the difference I'm saying. Like, I get where I'm not going to have the same argument about 5 times, but if you're not discussing it, period. Like, you ever try to talk to somebody about something and they just don't want to talk about it, and then that same problem keep happening because you never talked about it? No.
Yeah, but I'm thinking. I'm sitting here thinking. I'm trying to think of a scenario of what you're saying because, like, if something happened, I'm thinking I got that. All I can really speak for is me at the end of the day.
Like it don't have to be like they said. Don't have to be like between the male and the female. It could be just like
a regular incident. But I'm trying to think of if I have a where if I don't want to talk about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I tell one of my boys, you know what I mean, Jabril already know it's tax among men. Like if we have about to talk about something, I be like, bro, I don't want to talk about that right now.
Mhm.
It's over. You feel me? It's over. Ain't nobody bringing that up for the rest of the night. Next day, only time it'll get brought back up once I tell him that is I bring it back up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how men work. We don't want to talk about it. All right, cool. You feel me?
But that's from a female standpoint, that wouldn't be. And like I get that way too. Like I said, I've dealt with a friend where we had our issues, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm done talking about it because we keep like, and this is how I am. If I'm trying to tell you, like, if we're trying to have a discussion and we have an issue and we're trying to talk about it and you're not just like you're just in your own, like, you know, you talk to somebody and they just not there. It's like, okay, so when I try to talk to you, you just doing your own thing, so I'm over it. So don't come back to me and say, oh, can we talk about it now? I'm done. And that's just like, that's how I am. Like, if we try to have a conversation and you just being dumb or you can't come to, like, we can't really have like a real adult conversation, you want to be childish, okay, so at that point, I tried, we're done. And when you come back to me a couple months from now and say, oh, Ray, let's talk about it now, fuck that, I'm done. I don't even want to talk about it. It's not a thing to me no more. That I get. But I'm not going to have the same problem with a person and we keep having it. And then when I try to bring it up to you, you don't want to address it. It's like, okay. So at that point, it's a problem in our relationship. We can't get past that until we get past that one hump.
I feel you. I got a question for Jabril. I guess it's kind of in line with what we're talking about tonight. And I think we kind of touched on it a little bit. But when it comes to the use of better judgment, not just in relationships, just period. You know what I mean? Who you think who in your opinion, on average, think uses better judgment, period, throughout life?
Not just in relationship, like overall.
Overall,
I would have to say I would.
Go ahead, say it.
I would have to say guys do.
Oh, I just knew you was gonna say that.
You just knew I was gonna say that. Nah, like I do think that. I mean, when it comes down to certain things, and you just like me overall thinking about it, I think we do.
And you know why I think we do? It's for a very, very simple reason. You know what I mean? For the most of, like I said, when we're younger and we do something and it hurt us in a way that we don't want to be hurt, or we do something and it has a negative effect in a way that we don't like, we rarely make that mistake again.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? We rarely go back to that. I ain't saying it won't happen again, but if it does happen, it's like it's rare. You know what I mean? And that you'll also relate that to relationships. You feel me? Why females always go back
that's the first thing that came to my mind when you said that.
Yeah, y'all always go
y'all ready for a female chime in?
Oh, go ahead.
I will agree to a relationship-wise, you guys make better judgment than we do to a certain extent. Because, and here's why I say that. When you guys are younger, y'all make friends. You know, when boys make friends, y'all normally have lasting friendships for years. Females, we have a friend, we've been with this friend to girl for like 6 months. After a while, we hate that heifer, and we ain't her friend no more. Like we go through more friends than you guys. So I think we, to a certain extent, fail at that aspect of picking proper people in our lives. So I agree with that part only. I think we make better decisions. I would like to think most women make better decisions when it comes to jobs, how we think about jobs and how we think about providing, especially when you're a parent and stuff like that. We think differently, and we make better choices in that aspect. Money. I think guys make better choices with money to a certain extent. And certain guys, not all guys, I ain't talking like drug dealers and shit like that. I'm talking people that actually do shit for the living and do shit in their life. They make better money decisions than most females. We spend their money on stupid shit that probably don't matter, but that's what we do.
See that right there though? That's a toss up for me. Back in the day, I would have said, you know what I mean, man was smarter. But then when you think about it, you know, man went out and made the money. The women really decided how the money was spent through the household. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really say men are better with money. You know, and then especially in today's time, I think men are more materialistic than we've ever been.
Well, yeah, I can say that now,
as a whole. Yeah, so right now with that, I still think women are more smarter. I think women are smarter with money and saving it because, you know, the first thought with women are always the kids. Because, you know what I mean, even you can't deny the fact that, you know, more women have their kids, you know, more than men.
I agree with that.
You feel me? So I you know what I mean, I give the woman the edge in that. See, you can't, you feel me, you can't give a man a choice. It's a choice that he could get away with when it comes to money. Especially these times. You feel me? Dude, like, no matter what he like, clothes, you know what I mean, cars, technology, or whatever. If he could be like, I can buy that, I can get that, he gonna get it. he gonna get it. Yep. He gonna get it. You feel me? A female she gonna want to get it just as bad as him. You know what I mean?
I think more, but not all females are like that. But I do think more before I spend, like, even like I was telling my daughter, she was out stuffing with her, but I was telling her, like, you know, you have to be mindful of how you spend your money, stuff like that. And I always tell her, like, I kind of give her examples, like, when I get paid, I pay all the bills, and I go through what do you need first, and then if I have money, what do you want? I do that with her, and she always like, I want blah, 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 blah. Well, can we afford it is the question. Like, I'm not going to go broke buying you something, and then we don't have money for whatever we need, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I definitely, I have to agree with that one, yeah. Education-wise, like, who do you think makes better judgment when it comes to schools for education?
Overall or what?
Overall. Like continuing education, all that.
That's kind of a toss-up. But, I mean, in my situation, of course, I'm going to have to say the females on that one. There's just been too many, I've seen a lot of cases. Females are all about continuing their education.
Yeah, I agree because, you know, I think it go back to that. It go back to gender roles. You feel me? Even though, you know, times have changed a little bit. You know what I mean? Shit still remain the same. Like, men are more, you feel me, geared towards working towards their hands. Like I said, intelligence is still always relative. But when it comes to education, like, you know, men are geared to work more, do with your hands, stuff, this, that, and the third. You know, women are more into the books. Now the girls are more into the books because they know that's where they, you know, where they gonna get their most bread from. So when it comes to education, I go with the girls, the ladies on that one. You feel me? Y'all more focused, and then you can look at it in college. Yeah, I remember when I was in college. You know, your RA. It's like your RA. The first day he told us, he was like, "Look, you feel me? Y'all gonna party. Y'all gonna go out to these you know what I mean, clubs. You're going to go to these little frat houses, these little dorm room parties. He said, y'all going to party, y'all going to get fucked up. He said, guess what? The girls, they're going to be there doing the same thing. He said, the only difference is tomorrow morning, they going to be in class and your ass is not.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, watch. He's like, I'm telling y'all something real. He's like, do not get caught up. He said, because they outnumber y'all on this campus. You know, I think the ratio, the woman that I went to Virginia State University, the ratio was like 6-7 to 1. You feel me? So as a dude, you look at everywhere is females. You know what I mean? Everywhere. So you know, he was like, you're more to get tempted to do extra stuff. He's like, meanwhile, they're going to be in class the next day getting that education. They're going to be getting 3.0s and the 4.0s. You're going to be like 1.5, 2.0 because you two caught up. And he ain't never lied. He ain't never lied. You feel me? That's how the whole college experience was when I was down there. You feel me? The girls were more focused in class, you know what I mean, on their schoolwork, but they still were, you know, they still was like us. They like to party, go out, this, that, and the third. But, you know, they ain't messing around with missing class.
So I know in my workplace, it's a lot of women that are at the top of the helm, like a lot of the higher ups are not starting to be women. So who you think is excelling in the workplace in this day and age?
It all depends on what job you're talking about. I mean, I can't say that like me working at Comcast. There's 3 females in our building. One of them is an admin, and one of them works in the converter room. So I'm not going to sit here and say that the females are excelling more in the workplace. It depends on what workplace environment you're talking about.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I definitely agree with that. You know what I mean? It depends on the workplace because, you know, and then you figure, you know, women are still being paid less than men. Is it right?
Yeah.
You know? No, I mean, it's not right that they get paid less, but, you know, the reason why, you know, like it's still more men in power, more men in them higher positions than there's women. That, you know, that's what it basically comes down to. So, you know, it depends on the career, like Jabril stated. You feel me? It depends on what you're talking about. You talk about nursing. You talk about nursing. You feel me? I do see more men getting into nursing now.
I was hoping you said that because I was. Well, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, more of us are getting into it now, but we still know who run it. You feel me? Definitely.
Yeah. But like I was hoping you said there definitely are a lot of males getting into that field now, and I see them all the time. It's like you say, you see it too. I see it a lot.
But that's and it's crazy because it's like this. I won't say it's a discrimination, but when I know watching a lot of the shows, like when they say, "Oh, you're a nurse," "Oh, but you're a man." That's like having a man as a babysitter. It's kind of like no. You don't want a man watching your kids because that seems a little awkward. You're used to women, so I think it's kind of gender bias in certain situations. It definitely is.
You know, I think more men should be, you know, have knowledge when it comes to that medical stuff. Like I said, I still want to take my EMT test, you know, just to have that knowledge. You feel me? So if something happened, like we all got kids, you feel me? And I always say, like, something happened to my daughter, you never know what type of emergency, you know, you feel me? Ambulance and EMS, they so far out, it's going to take them a minute to get. I don't want to sit there and wait.
Yeah. Clay, hold on.
I like to be proactive. Okay.
Caller, what's your name and where you from? Hello?
The caller?
Hey, this is.
No, they're on there.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, Johnny, is that you? Are you on my line?
Yes, I have you on the line, yes.
Oh, this is Willie Styles. It normally says I'm muted, but it didn't say anything this time, so I wasn't sure if you guys were on my line or not.
What up, Willie?
Yeah. What's up? How everybody doing tonight? Oh, nothing much.
All right.
I was just listening in, checking out the conversation, and and seeing what the topic of the night was. I hear you guys talking about guys getting into nursing and everything. That's true. But yeah, it's I'm just listening in for right now. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So who do you think? So who do you think is smarter, men or women?
Me myself, I think women are smarter just because they're more focused. They take the time to learn things when I mean, not that men are lazy, but we just a lot of times we get on one thing and we stick to that one thing, right? And then women are willing to adapt and learn new stuff even when they've already maybe mastered something or figured something out. I mean, if you look at college statistics, more women have dual degrees and things like that than men. So it's kind of, I mean, I think it just lends to that tenacity to want to do more and do better.
Yeah.
Yay!
I mean, I think women are more consistent. You feel me? As a whole, as a group, I think they're more consistent than men. You know what I mean? Because, like we was talking about earlier, how did when they did the testing, like at the top it's still more men, but at the bottom, you feel me, it's more men than women. It's because sometimes, men, when we get into our emotional bag, like Sonny stated earlier, we don't really handle our emotionals, like we don't act out our emotions as well as they do. Mm-hmm. So we're liable to be real extra, you feel me, and set us back more. You feel me? Where a woman, I think they're more safe. You know what I mean? I think their decisions, they make safer decisions than men. I think men are a little bit more risky. We're riskier with our thinking. You know what I mean? And with our, I mean, like we want to do things now. I mean, we're willing to take more of a risk than I think women will. What you think about that, son?
I think guys definitely take more risk than women do, but we think like 10 steps ahead. We think about the cause and effect and how, like, if we do something, how would this work out, and we kind of rationalize before we make a decision. We don't like to make a split decision. It's kind of like let me think on it and then get back to you versus just giving you a decision right there and now, because you got to kind of think about things. And I think guys act more rash, or just like you said, make a risky decision. And that's like when you're stockbrokers, they make a risky decision, like that's their job. But when you're dealing with certain jobs, you have to kind of think about everything before you think about how you're going to do it, how would it work best. If you do it this way, will it work out? If you do it this way, like how would it be better, but it'd be less steps, different things like that. So I think we think about things before we do them rather than just do things, especially when it comes to, like, jobs or employment and big stuff,
Agree and disagree because, I mean, they both do think about things before they do them. I think guys think of, like you said, the women think 10 steps ahead. I'm pretty sure guys think of the outcome also, but their way of thinking about it, like they might only think about what the maybe just the good things that'll come out of it, whereas the females are thinking of the good and the bad, or it might even be like a male might just be thinking about the bad things, where the female is thinking about the good and the bad. Like it's not always just, it's kind of not just one-sided, but it's to the point where they are thinking ahead, but they're not probably thinking on the same lines as what a female was thinking about when it comes to a situation. I mean, me and my wife will disagree on things, but it's not like we're not both thinking ahead. It's just that she's thinking of the good and the bad of something, and I'm just thinking of one way of something.
I want to how I think about that is, I'm not saying Jabril like Jabril married. I ain't saying Jabril think like this, but I'm gonna use him and his family as an example. Like Jabril may have an idea. It's a great idea. The way his wife may think about the idea, well, how does it affect you, me, and the kids? Mm-hmm. Jabril may be thinking, how does that affect me? How just me? And what's best for me is best for the family. Mm-hmm. You feel me? That's how more dudes think. More dudes, it ain't. I don't think it's like intentional or saying it's just or being selfish. It's just saying, okay, this is best for me. The outcome, this gonna affect me. This gonna affect me. And if everything work out, it'll be great for me. And what's great for me is great for the family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the woman is like, well, what's great is how that affects us. How will that decision affect us? Well, if you got to go here, yeah, overall, if you got to go there and do that, then what about us? We gonna be stuck here for a minute, this, that, and the third. You know, so I think it's just how we think about it. I don't think necessarily y'all think 10 steps ahead of us. I think, you know, we probably both think ahead. It's just what we're looking at ahead is different.
Yeah, and it's funny because the funny thing you should mention that because I was reading this blog from this guy. I want to say his name's John. I follow his blog, and he actually was talking about how he got 2 job offers from these 2 different companies that were going to be beneficial to him as far as making more. And I'm sorry, his name's not John. His name is Joe. But yeah, he was talking about how he got these 2 job offers that were going to pay him more money, but both of them were out of state, away from his daughter, you know. And he was thinking about it, and then he thought that wasn't a good decision at the particular time because his daughter's still young and he wanted to be a part of her life and, you know, make sure he's there for the key points. And then when she gets older enough to travel to come see him, then he would consider, you know, if that opportunity came back up again, he would consider moving out of state. And I kind of wrote to him like, you know, that's wild because most people most guys that I know would leave and go chase that extra money and then just go travel back and forth and figure out how it works. And it was kind of interesting to see him think that way because I don't want to say that men don't think that way, but it surprised me because I'm so used to them wanting, like, you know, not necessarily going there, like, I don't want to say money hungry, but wanting to make that more money because if he made more money, he could do more for her, you know. But he thought about his actual time spent with her, and that's something that, like, I'm used to women thinking that way. Like, if I do this, you know, I don't want to work all this time because I want to spend time with my kids, or I want to make sure that I put in my time, you know, then first. So, like, you're right, Clint. I agree. But that just made me think of that. That's why I had to mention that.
Okay.
And another thing I just remembered, too, I did a new hire, and a guy was working for our company. He left to go somewhere else, and he came back because he said the travel was too much for him and his kids, but that was him. He said, I left because it was going to be more money. I thought it was going to be beneficial, but it ended up being like a not great decision. So, you know, that kind of adds more to the point, you know.
You mentioned something earlier, and I want to know, and I want to wonder why, and I wonder why people think like that. You mentioned like women babysitting versus man babysitting, or, you know, just like say if a man had a daycare and a woman had a daycare right next to each other.
Mm.
You feel me? Most people are going to go to the woman's daycare before they go into that man's daycare.
Mm.
Why?
Because I think, and it's not even I don't think it's like a conscious thought, but you think, like, why is this man babysitting kids? And then it's not normal. You know, it's out of the norm of what we're used to. We're used to a female daycare. We're used to only time the men is educating or around our children is in like a school setting, but not like a daycare or a babysitting situation. So it's a little weird, especially if they're not like the brother of the kid they're babysitting. If it's some random guy that you don't know, you kind of think, why is he babysitting kids? What's going on with that situation? You think of things about pedophiles, you think of things about molestation, and then you're more, it's like we're trained to think that that's just not normal, so we're going to take them to the female daycare because I'm pretty sure, like you said, you have a little girl. Would you be comfortable sending her to a male daycare than a female?
That's okay, but that's just like asking me, you know, her mom got a boyfriend. So, you know, I got to stomach my daughter being around her boyfriend.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's the same. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You shouldn't think that way. You think that way.
Yeah. So it's like, to me, like, same rules apply. You feel me? So, you know, just from a male's perspective, I always looked at it as a slight. Like, man, y'all don't think we can take care of our kids? This is even before I had kids. You feel me? I felt like that way. I felt that way because, you know, of course, a mother will give, you know, the affection is different. The way we, you know, deal with each other, deal with the kids are different because women are different than men. We still have the same ability to nurture our kids. You know what I mean? Men can nurture. I know that sounds
back to what you had said earlier, how we were just talking about something else where, like, time the roles have changed now. Like, it's not more just this male-dominated, female-dominated, only females can be babysitters or teachers or things like that, where it's a role that's played by both parts now.
Yeah. But I think, like I said, I don't think that we should think that way when it comes to men babysitting or men doing more stuff like that. I think it's like like I said, we so used to it being one way that when it changes, we can accept it to a certain extent. And it shouldn't, like, I'm not saying it's right, but I think that like you think that you want to know, okay, well that's weird, that's not normal and stuff like that. And like Chris said, that's a valid point because you can't think. And even like if you ever been molested or anything like that, you can't think that everybody's going to do something to your kids. You have to kind of you can't drill that into your head and think that something's going to happen, you know, or that if he's around or if she's around the guy, something might happen. You can't think of it because you won't let the kid do anything. So you kind of have to not think that way because, you know, it's daycare. You see all these videos with daycares where these kids going to these daycares and the cameras watch and the freaking lady's beating on your child. So, you know, or, you know, they're just kidnapping kids. Like
teachers are sleeping with these little boys. It's cool. You feel me?
Yeah.
These female teachers sleep with these boys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like,
I had a quick comment real quick. Is you know, I think it all goes down to gender roles. Just kind of what Sonny was just kind of alluding to is it's down to gender roles and expectations of genders. Like you said, you know, men can nurture and we can be loving and we can be, you know, I mean, a lot of men are emotional, you know, so it's something that is not in us, but it's just a gender role says that, you know, we're not that way, right? You know, they expect us to be the disciplinarian. They expect us to be the more stern or more uncaring, or I won't say uncaring, but you know what I mean? Like, you know, we don't show our emotions, unemotional. And, you know, so taking care of people or taking care of kids is not something that, you know, in the gender role is assigned to us, right? So I think it all comes down to that. Like they're trying to accept that gender roles can't be the standard. We can't say, you know, only certain people are allowed to do something because they're a man or a woman. It has to be, you know, a little bit more open, have to be understanding that people have skills. You know, I mean, I take care of my kids every day, you know. My kids have never been in daycare. My kids have never been, or, you know, they don't spend time, you know, with babysitters and stuff like that. You know, I take care of my kids 24/7. Same with my stepkids. I, you know, had to do the same thing with them. And before I was doing it, my father-in-law was doing it. So, you know, he did it for the first 12, 13 years. So it's definitely, you know, possible for men to do the same job and to do the things that's necessary to be nurturers and that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's definitely like go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was about to say, and then like I was saying is that with the nursing thing, you know, that's another thing where people are like, you know, they don't expect men to take care of people. You know, it's like that's just something that, you know, they always expect women to do, and you know, but there's a huge increase. I mean, at the hospital over here, I mean, I see, you know, I won't say it's half, but it's a big, you know, population of male nurses over here. It's like I would say a third of them are men, you know, that are doing it. I mean, it's a good job, it's great pay, you know, and those guys realize they can do it, so it's worth, you know, it's worth getting into.
Because we're bringing up gender roles. One thing it always goes with me, what it always goes back to when we talk about gender roles is, you know, because when you talk about being nurturers and taking care of people, you know, back in the day, you feel me, mostly we're all men doctors.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So, like, taking care of people being that's what doctors did back. It wasn't all about being surgery. You know what I mean? You called a doctor, a man was coming to your house.
Yeah.
You feel me? The women just had the lesser role. You feel me? They was relegated to the lesser role because, you know, you just do the simple thing because they wasn't, you know, chauvinists. You feel me? Women want, that's how men thought. You know what I mean? Y'all do that. And then it also goes back to when we talk about being nurturers, reason why they would consider more, y'all consider more nurturers than us, because when it was wartime, the men left.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? They left the women and kids stay. That was the role. Women and kids stay. Y'all don't, you feel me? Y'all don't fight. We fight. You know what I mean? Men go out there and fight. They die on that while the women stay home and take care of the family. So that gender role, you know, that played out in different ways throughout history, and they just kept it like that. So how we think about what men should do or what men can't do or what women can do or what they can't do, more so it ain't necessarily about how they think or intelligence. It's just, you know, circumstances, gender roles, what they were presented with. You feel me? Or how they were raised. You know, if a child is raised, a female is raised to say that she can't do this or she can't do that, just because she's a woman, she gonna believe that.
Yeah.
You feel me? Unless somebody show her different. Same thing with a boy. You feel me? You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed. That's feminine. That's what females do. Well, you know.
Yeah, that's like they just tell you that your boy's not supposed to cry. He's supposed to suck it up. No, he should be able to cry. I'm not saying be a stone cold waterhead and cry all the time, but when he's hurt or when, you know, they cry.
Right.
Like you got men that's scared to cry, and they, you know, they holding on to that emotion and they don't know how to function because they were taught that crying is a sign of weakness. And even like I said, I know I was like that for a long time. I thought if I cried, I would get pissed off about crying in front of anybody because I thought that you know, in my eyes, I was weak unless you know, when you saw me cry, so that made me mad, and I didn't want to be around you. I didn't want you seeing me. I didn't want anything, and a lot of men think that way, and that's not a good way to be. So it's a lot of things that we put on our, like, even when you see now, like if you, like I know when I'm at my friend's house and a kid or a boy kid picks up a girl's toy, that's a girl's toy, and smack it out of his hand, and it's like he, you know, like it. I'm sure people don't want their kids to be gay, but at the end of the day, they're gonna be regardless of what you tell them they can and can't do. You know.
Yeah.
But it'll be okay if a girl. That's the double standard. It's okay if a girl plays with boys' toys, and it's fine. But if a boy picks up a girl's toy, all of a sudden all hell broke loose. He's gonna be gay. Like.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I can't lie. I can't lie. I was like that. I was like that with my brothers. You feel me? I see them. You feel me? If I see anything that was strange, you know, that's considered strange. You feel me? That's how I'm raised. That's, you feel me? That's, I can't even lie to you. You feel me? I see you doggy, man. What, you don't put that down? That's like, you feel me? Throw that over there or something. You feel me? You better be ripping the head off of it. You feel me? You better be destroying it or something.
It's funny because I see my son picking up my daughter, Hello Kitty, but he'll just toss that. Like he'll pick it up and toss it across the thing and be done with it.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't, like, I ain't gonna lie, like, like, just pick up a card, but I won't smack it in his hand like that. You know?
We know after show.
Yes, we are. Will you sit on the line, or you want us to put you back on to listening?
Oh yeah, I'm still here. Yep.
Okay, we are in our after show, guys. Thank you, Willie, for calling in during the show. If you would like to join our after show, you know, call us 657-383-1155. We have been tweeting and posting on the Facebook page throughout the entire night. So if you see a tweet, thanks for retweeting us. I want to shout out the Podcast Brothers for retweeting us. Pattern Family for retweeting us. Hold on, wait a minute. I'm going to say his name completely wrong. But let me grab it because I don't want to do that. Justin Ruff for retweeting us, and EMA Radio 1 for retweeting us throughout our podcast. So I thank you guys for retweeting it. Hopefully you guys are listening to the show, even if you're not calling in. And thank you guys for supporting us. But go ahead, Ty, after the show. I know Clint had something he wanted to talk about, and I think J. Rowe did too, but go ahead.
I just wanted, I'm not understanding, you feel me, when one of these celebrities yell out all lives matter, you feel me, they are getting roasted by everybody immediately. You feel me? I don't understand why. You know, it's like people expect, you know, just because they're celebrities or just because they're black, to have the same opinion as them. You feel me? And if they don't, then they automatically coons, Uncle Toms. You feel me? It's like I don't understand it. Like I just don't understand it. Like, you know, Lil Wayne situation that he was obviously high. You feel me? That wasn't. You feel me? He was obviously drunk, high, out of his mind. You could see it. And then, like, at the end of the day, like J. Rowe, we was talking earlier, and J. Rowe said before the show, like, you feel me? That's Lil Wayne. Like, what you expect?
Like, honestly.
You know what I mean? Like, what do you expect? So
there,
you know,
so there's a video or whatever.
I really can't get mad. Yeah, yes, it is. He asked, was it a video of it?
Oh, yes. Look on Clint posted on his page. You go to akingstruth.com. He posted, it's a video of it too, but I think, what is it, the Breakfast Club that was doing that post you posted up? That was actually Donkey of the Day. Oh, Donkey of the Day, but go check it out on Clint's blog, King's Truth. He put that video up. That video was so on point.
No, I mean, like,
yeah, he was actually in I don't know who was. It was an actual interview that somebody was interviewing him. I don't know who it was. I don't know who the lady was, but
it was somebody from like this. Go ahead.
The Today Show or something? I think it was like
no, it wasn't the Today Show. It was like one of them sports networks. He was on one of the I want to say ESPN, one of their shows. But I'm about to find that because I can't think of the name of it.
And the reason why I brought that up, wonder why, because that man stated
he was on Nightline.
Yeah, Nightline, yep.
Nightline, yeah.
Before, like a couple years ago, you know, they be having him on ESPN First Take, and you know they asked him a question or something about racism. You feel me? He was like he never experienced it throughout his whole life. He's like he don't. And then he's like when he do his shows, you know, when he closes his eyes, open them up at the end of the show, he said he see all races. So he's like he don't experience racism. You know, and then, you know, a lot of people be like, you know, a lot of people killed me for that. You feel me? Like, what you mean? This, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, how can you, because he said when he growing up, he was never around white people. So you got to think about it. Like, how did he really ever experience it hands-on personally? No, maybe not. Systematically, yeah. But personally, you know what I mean, with a white person in front of him being racist, he probably never experienced that. So his views on it may be completely different from what ours may be, or people who experience it may be.
I still think he was drugged up on that one.
But
yeah,
why? Well, like I said earlier, why is Lil Wayne's views really relevant? That's I found that it was, like I said, it was that Dave Chappelle skit that I had saw. When he said 9/11 happened and somebody was interviewing somebody and was like, I wonder what Ja Rule thinks about 9/11. Nobody gives a damn what Ja Rule thought about 9/11 at that moment. Nobody really cares what Lil Wayne thinks about. Lil Wayne, like I said, is either high or drunk 90% of the time. He was probably high or drunk when he did this interview. Direct quotes from Lil Wayne. I'm a young, black, rich mother effer. If that don't let you know that America understand black mother effers matter these days, I don't know what it is. Wayne then pointed to the cameraman and said, that white man, he filming me. I'm a nigga, and I don't know what you mean, man. Don't come at me with that dumbass stuff, man. My life matters. Really?
Well, Wayne crazy. No, I have a meme that says,
me reading it has no justice. Like, you have to actually see the video of how he was talking and how he was talking to this lady when it went down.
Yes. And it's funny because I had this meme that I had on my cover photo, and I believe it was Tupac, and he was like, "What the fuck is a Lil Wayne?"
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know if y'all seen that meme, but that's what the meme said, and it had me dying because. But yeah, he said, "Who the fuck is Lil Wayne?" And it got him with the serious, Tupac with a serious face, like, who's that?
I haven't heard from Lil Wayne in a while. He just like popped up out of nowhere. Hey, he's supposed to be retiring.
I thought he was.
Yeah, because he was all Cash Money because Baby ain't giving his money.
Yeah, no, that's Lil
Bow Wow. What'd you say, Willie?
Retiring, but decided. So that was Lil Bow Wow that was supposed to retire, but decided to do an album with what's his name, with Soulja Boy Tell Him. So, but no, Lil Wayne. I think people put too much, not just Lil Wayne, but anybody, right? Anybody that's quote unquote famous, they put too much stock in and what they think, what they say, how they say it, when they say it. You know what I mean? They put way too much stock in it, and I think part of it, like I understand where certain people come from. Like I was listening to not the Breakfast Club, it was a different radio station here in Detroit. One of the morning shows here, local one. So anyway, they were asking people, are you a Lil Wayne fan after hearing about his comments? And so a couple of people got on and they were saying that they lost respect for him or they didn't like what he said, but they were saying it because they felt that the support that he gets from the black community as a entertainer and people putting their money into it is where they see him failing, right? So in a way, a person not supporting your political or social views because you put money into them, that's your prerogative. And I mean, I feel like when I pay for something or I buy something that that company, if they do something way off the wall, I feel like I'm going to stop supporting them. And but this right here, I don't see it as off the wall. I see it as ignorant, but I don't see it as something that I would say I'm never going to listen to Lil Wayne again. No, that's not true. There's certain things that he can say and he can do that I could care less because I'm gonna be like, hey, that's his personal view, and people don't see that line that you have to draw, right? Because not at the end of the day, not all of us worship the same God. Not all of us do have the same political views. I mean, there's a lot of artists and actors who are Republicans that are black, right? Because it fits their lifestyle. Like he said, he white people, he matters to white people because white people love him. And that's true. It's 100% true. If a cop had a choice to arrest Lil Wayne or let him go, so long as it's not affecting his bottom line, that cop will probably let him go because he'll be like, I know who Lil Wayne is. I'm not going to shoot Lil Wayne. I'm not going to harass Lil Wayne other than just to get a autograph because he's going to feel like Lil Wayne is at that, is somebody he can relate to or somebody he can identify. But they're going to see you as different, right? So I think it's the thing is that Lil Wayne has a different viewpoint. He has a different outlook on life than the rest of us common black folks because we don't have his money, we don't have his lifestyle, we don't see the things that he sees, we don't go through the things that he goes through. Like you said with the racism thing, that boy been an artist since he was, I think it was 14, either 12 or 14.
14.
I personally didn't recognize racism until I was 15 or 16. Like I think I might have seen some low key racism when I was younger, but I didn't really recognize it until I was 15 or 16 when I went to spend my money and I was treated like a criminal, and I felt it and I knew it. He had money by then. He already had money. He was around people with money. He knew people, or he had things. He knew people who were big and already in the industry. So he of course he didn't experience that because he never had to live that life where nobody didn't know who he was. And if they didn't know who he was, he could flex that muscle and say, do you know who I am? Or do you know my situation? I got this money, blah, blah, blah. He didn't have to go through that. You know what I mean? So it's a different perspective. It's a different outlook. I mean, rich kids go through it all the time where they don't see what we see because they're rich. They don't see death. I mean, most of us, probably even on this call, have seen, our friends dying in the streets, because we live in the hood. You know what I mean? I mean, you guys from Trenton, I know y'all know, and people from Chicago, we know they know. People from Detroit, we know. You know, so it's embedded in us. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not. It's sad when it happens, but it's not uncommon. You know what I'm saying? But when you ask somebody from Brentwood, California, somebody from I don't know, anywhere, you know, you could pick and choose. Manhattan, somebody from Inglewood, somebody from I'm talking about Illinois. I'm not California. Inglewood, Illinois. You know, you pick some suburbs. Ask them, like, you know, what was the youngest person you seen die, out here in these streets? They'll be like, never. You know what I mean? They see it on TV. They see it on the news. They see it in movies. They ain't never heard of it in their streets, so it don't happen. You know what I mean? So it's a whole different perspective. It's a whole different outlook. You know, people got things screwed up, thinking that everybody has to understand where they're coming from. So nobody has to understand where you're coming from. You have to make that conscious decision to put your efforts and money into things that relate to you. But if you put your hopes and dreams in these entertainers, especially these rappers who are on drugs, like you said, Clint, these people are stoned. They smoke. I mean, he smokes crack. This guy right here smokes crack. Think about it. I mean, they own that Molly. They drinking lean. I mean, it's dope. Mm-hmm. So how are you putting your faith and your hopes and dreams into these people and thinking that, you know, they have your common interest in mind? They don't. It's different.
Yeah. But see, even I just got a tweet from Mr. Jamel, and he said you don't have to experience racism personally to understand that it exists. He said folks might be upset with Wayne because they expect him with all that he has seen to know better, and it's true. Like I don't think that, like I said, I don't think that people should, even if you haven't personally experienced it. I agree with him. You shouldn't. It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Just because you have never dealt with it head on and had it confronted to you personally does not mean that it does not exist. It does. It happens. We see it happen. Whether we see it happen to others, we heard stories from friends that it happened to them and things like that. And you know, it shouldn't have to be like we have to have concrete proof that because it only happened to me, I know it exists. Now I know it exists. It exists. That's like saying cancer doesn't exist because I've never had cancer personally.
I don't have it, right? Yeah. I mean, it's ignorant to think that racism doesn't exist. It's ignorant to think, but I mean, there's a lot of people who feel that way. That they think that up until this whole presidential election, but you know, a lot of them, you know, they felt like they've never seen it before, so it must be over. It's not happening anymore. But there's a lot of people, black and white, that feel that way. It's not just some of these entertainers, and not just some white people. It's black people too. I think a lot of people. I would say that I don't think people. I think people choose to turn a blind eye and believe that in this fairy tale world that certain things don't happen, and it's a lot of people that believe that, or don't, or just choose to believe that. And I don't want to say if they're ignorant. They choose to believe that it is not happening, and it is. And I don't think it should just be, like I said, I don't care two shits about what Lil Wayne said. That's what he said. He sounds an asshole, and that's it. Look at Donald Trump. I mean, Donald Trump is the biggest racist in our common time, and he thinks he's not racist, but he spews racism all day long. I mean, he truly believes that he's not racist, but that's all he preaches is racism. So, people believe what they want to believe.
As far as white people go, I know there's so many of them. You know what I mean? This is one thing we got to wrap our mind around because we think the world is smaller than what it really is. You know what I mean? There's so many of them in America that a lot of them never really interact with black people ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, they never interact with black people ever. So to them, how can we really say they're racist? You know, that's the question I gotta ask too. Like, cause it's a lot of them never really. You feel me? Like, they're so sheltered and so protected from. Like, they never interact with us. Like, they're never in our circles.
Yeah.
You feel me? And they probably don't even think about it. You see what I'm saying? Like it really it's really not part of their day-to-day life.
Exactly. In that situation, I don't look at it as being a racist that you are just outside of that realm. I look at it as, you like you said, you just haven't experienced diversity in your life, right? But if a person uses the perceptions that they have gleaned from outside sources, like the news media, movies and TV, and they take that and they put it upon people that they've never even interacted with, that's being prejudiced or being racist at that point. Because now you've chosen to use, stereotypes, or you use outside information, generalizations upon people that you have no clue or have no interactions with. You know what I mean? Everybody needs to realize that people are people. You're gonna interact with good black people. You're gonna interact with bad black people. You're gonna interact with good white people. You're gonna interact with bad white people. So you have to take each person as they come and not generalize and stereotype every person in a race. That's what I mean by like Trump, what he's doing with illegal immigrants. He's like, if you're an illegal immigrant, you're a thug and you're a prostitute and you're a drug dealer. He literally says that in his ads that, all immigrants are thugs and rapists and all this other stuff. So he's generalized an entire group of people, most of whom that I know are probably the hardest working people in this country, and generalize them to be, demonize them. You know what I mean? So I think that when you do that, just because you have it, like, he may not have interacted with any of them, maybe. I'm sure he has, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's never interacted with anyone. But he's taken information and just generalized the entire group. That's racism, regardless of if he's had interactions with them or not.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And this is like, I just feel like I know when I talk to a couple of coworkers, like I said, I can't take, I won't allow them to say that they ignorant or they don't understand or that they don't know. You see, like you said, you see people getting shot and you try to justify it when there's no justification. Like in certain, not all situations, but in certain ones, there's no justification. You see this, and it's like it's in your face, it's raw and it's uncut, and you still act like you don't understand. This is a major problem. I can't, like, at that point, I can't excuse you. I don't think that all white people are racist. I don't think that all white people are like hate black folks or people of color and Muslims and this, that, and third. No, I don't believe that. I refuse to believe that. But I know that some are. And you can tell how their behavior is when you talk about conversations like that, when it involves race. You can tell by their whole conversation and how they choose to interact with that conversation. You can pretty much tell. And it's just sad. It's just sad because you could know somebody for years, and you can have a conversation with them, a real conversation, and then you realize what type of person they truly are.
Let me ask you this, though. Let me ask J-Ro this. Do you feel, this is what I personally feel. You feel me? Of course, there's a lot. I believe it's more than some. I think it's a lot of races. You feel me? A lot of them just don't speak on it. But I also feel there's a lot of white people out there, they tired of hearing black people excuses.
Yeah.
You said they're tired of hearing
them? Yeah, they tired of hearing, like, excuses. You feel me? Like, you know what I mean? Because at the same time, they can look at us and say, y'all do realize, just because the media, you know what I mean? Because we know we're not stupid neither. Mm-hmm. We know what goes on in these white communities, too. You know, and they can look at, and the white people can really look at you. I ain't talking about the well-to-do. There's more poor white people than rich white people. Mm-hmm. You feel me? But it's a lot of those poor white people becoming crazy as well. But we do realize that our neighborhoods, this them talking to us, like, our neighborhoods is just fucked up as yours too. What's going on in y'all community, y'all poor communities, is going on in our poor communities too.
Yeah.
You feel me? But it's not reported on the news as much. You feel me? To me, I think that's the biggest difference. The media, the attention it gets.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because it's
So I
like.
guess my question is, do you think they're just fed up with hearing excuses? A lot of them.
I think they are. I see it a lot on social media and things like that. Like whenever something comes up and something happens in the black community, or not even just the black community, but something comes up, the white people are always saying, "Oh, you guys are always making excuses." They always claim that it's just an excuse that's being made. It's not necessarily true. It's not always just an excuse. Yeah, they say they're tired of hearing about it, but that's not how. That's not the true issue that needs to be addressed. Though they need to get to the bottom of the problem instead of just trying to say we're making excuses and they're tired of hearing our issues and excuses and problems.
True, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, what I'm trying to figure out is in the scheme of things that happen to not only minorities but also, like you said, poor whites. I mean, I have a friend who's poor, not poor, but he's lower middle class, white guy, lived in a city that's pretty much predominantly white, and I remember him talking about getting beat up and harassed by police in his area all the time, and how he said it was something that just happened to his friends all the time. So, I mean, pretty much same kind of stuff that we see in large, black cities, stuff like that, right? So, of course, we don't hear about that stuff on the news. We don't hear about it from our side either until something dramatic happens, like a person gets killed. But my thing is that what makes me wonder is why do we get the press, or the media attention? Why do we get that when we know it happens to Latinos, we know it happens to poor whites, we know it happens to natives, we know it happens to Asian Americans. We know it. I mean, if you're not well-to-do, which is a very small percentage of the population, it's happening to your population. You know what I mean? So why black people? And I don't think it's us making the noise. I think it's just the media focusing on us, and that's what I don't understand is why us.
Yeah.
Why do we have to be the ones with the excuses? Why do we have to be the ones? I mean, because once the spotlight's on us, we take advantage, right? We say, look, now that y'all put it out there, we're going to jump on this and say, hey, do something about it, which is right, which is only right, you know what I mean? But, because I know when the Latino Lives Matter started going around, I jumped on it for them. Like, look, hey, because I know I have a lot of Latino friends, and I know they get harassed and beat up, and, I know people have gotten killed by police, and the police have covered it up. Because that's what they do, I mean, police brutality crosses all lines, white, black, Haitian, whatever, Asian rather, whatever, you know what I mean? So, like, why us though? It's like that's just the weird thing for me. It's like, why us?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it may be a whole lot of different answers to that question. To be quite honest, you feel me? Like that's a good question to ask why. You feel me? I think some of it may have to do with, I guess, you feel me, we always at the bottom. We always being exploited. They exploited us from day one. So why not continue? You feel me?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I travel a lot. Like I go to different cities and I look at the news sometimes and I still see it, right? Because I still see our black faces on the media, on the news screen. But I occasionally see them. Like I go to Orlando a lot, and Hilton Head a lot, and especially in Hilton Head where there's not really a lot of black people, but there's always a black face on the news. It never fails. Like every time I go there, there's a black face on the news. More white faces, but there's a black face on the news every time. But, it's just weird to me when I see them having to report on themselves. You don't hear the same comments, though. You know what I mean? You don't hear the same things. I mean, that's the one thing that always pisses me off when I hear people being victim shaming and making the victims out to be the bad guys. you know, because they'll do that to the black man though easy. Like, oh yeah, he had a criminal record, you know. Like, what does his criminal record have to do with the fact that he killed by somebody and he wasn't doing anything wrong at that moment? You know what I mean? Like, he been out of prison or out of the system for years, but you know, now you got to bring that up. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys, we are at the end of our show. It's been an interesting one and a good one. We appreciate the feedback we got on Twitter. We got a lot of feedback on Twitter. We got a lot of retweets, so that's good too. Hope you guys chime in and drop us some lines about what you thought about the show. You could definitely check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/GFT Radio Show. Check out our website, gftradioshow.com. We have the IG, and we also have our Twitter, which is GFT_radio. And we also have products on SoundCloud.com/GFT Radio Show. You guys want to drop your information?
Y'all know where y'all can hit me up at. Y'all can hit me up on KingsTruth.com. Hit me on Twitter at @TrentonGroomy. Find me on Snapchat at the King's Truth. You feel me? And, you know, hit us up on our website. And I'm on there, too.
Okay, Russ?
Yeah, you know, mine is just a simple JRO609 everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Google me, JRO609.
Willie Styles, you want to give us your info?
Oh, yeah, this is Willie Styles. That's STYLEZ. So I'm Willie Styles on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Willie.Styles on Snapchat. AskWillieStyles.com, WillieStyles.info if you just need to find all the links on there.
And, you know, Sunny, I am Sunny_D on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on my blog, unreservedlyme.wordpress.com. I'm pretty much, you can Google me and find me somewhere. But, again, thank you guys for listening tonight. You've been great. We'll see you next week.
All right, see y'all in 7 days. You already know.
Bye, guys.
All right. Have a good night.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be confusing. Like Swedish techno confusing.
Bark, bark, meow, meow. Dance with me, purple cow. Bark, bark, meow, meow. Ooh, you lovely cow.
Geico makes it easy. With 24/7 access, all you have to do is go to Geico.com and you could save money on car insurance. It just makes sense. Unlike, you know.
Dance with me, purple cow. I like your moves.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be confusing. Like Swedish techno confusing.
Bark, bark, meow, meow. Dance with me, purple cow. Bark, bark, meow, meow. Ooh, you lovely cow.
Geico makes it easy. With 24/7 access, all you have to do is go to Geico.com and you could save money on car insurance. It just makes sense. Unlike, you know.
Dance with me, purple cow. I like your moves.